many foundations and corporations. So you form a branch in Brazil, and they call it the Venus Project. And you get a lot of young people talking. And here's what to do. That'll wear a necktie and a suit and go with a girl, a guy and a girl, to these foundations and say we need money for prefabricated housing, and we need money to study sustainability and the redesign of our cities so they're cleaner and healthier. And if you have a foundation, a non-profit, set that up, you can raise funds and do things.
That's the main idea. That's the main idea. That's the main idea. That's the main idea.
You have to do. Or you can raise money to do the major film. A film can get all over the world in just a month. My lectures, I can only talk to maybe 300 people at one time. But a motion picture is alive all the time. And in the movie, we have the antagonist that say it'll never work, everything.
Storyline, a little love story and all that.
Yeah, and show them where they were wrong all the way down the line. The movie is a very exciting story too. It's a travel around the world like 50 years ago. Yeah. A whole new world. Garden cities, everything.
We'll explain the movie if we ever get a chance to do it.
Yeah. You guys already have the script, maybe?
We don't want anybody trying to make that movie because they're not qualified.
I actually have one more question that I was wondering if you all were aware of. Were you all aware that the Federal Reserve has recently been doing studies on motivation, particularly about money? Have you all heard about that at all? Or you can go on YouTube and go to RSA Animate, and it's actually a TED Talk. I would recommend it to all you all. The more TED Talks you watch, the more I realize...
We tried that route. What happened?
I would love to get him on TED, because the people that talk at TED...
Tried. And you know, Peter got rejected. I think he's doing a TED in Portugal or something. But there's a lot of people that bombarded TED. In fact, when the first film came out, we said, people were asking, what can we do? And we said, well, write to TED. And the very night I put it up, the next morning the secretary called me and said, get that off your website. I can't even get onto my internet.
Yeah.
They said, we have our people lined up for the next year. So about a year and 2 years later, they said, well, we want to have Jacques sign this application. It wasn't even an approved thing, to be a senior representative for TED, which means we would have had to pay $2,000.
Yeah,
Jacques would have had to fly to 3 different countries and lecture, and they were only giving him economy class. Elderly people have to fly business class and put your feet up, otherwise it's, you can get blood clots. So it was ridiculous. The whole thing was ridiculous. So we just rejected it.
It is on that, but along the lines of what they were talking about, the Federal Reserve has actually been doing studies, like big funding studies on motivation towards money. And what they've actually found is that money actually does not do anything once you go past rudimentary tasks. If you tell somebody, hey, clean up this whole room, give them a specific task, do it by 6 o'clock, you can motivate them with money. However, if you do anything beyond rudimentary tasks that involves like critical thinking, money in some cultures like America actually doesn't really deter the results. It actually keeps it about the same. However, in other cultures, like they picked this up, they obviously didn't get the results they were looking for. It's the Federal Reserve. They wanted to see results. So like, crap, let's pick up this study and let's go to India, where money is worth a lot more, where people are... What they found is actually it deterred the results even more when they offered them higher incentive with money. This is the kind of science, like real statistics, studies, real studies being going on that is proving your values, that money not only is not an incentive but a deterrent. When you have these, when you talk about what really motivates people, you can all go to YouTube, type in RSA Animate, Daniel Pinkston motivation. You could watch a little 10-minute speech. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. It's just 10 minutes. They have RSA Animate's really cool because they animate as they talk about it, and this is real science going on that completely vindicates everything the Venus Project talks about. So.
What do you guys think about the whole WikiLeaks situation and Julian Assange? Like, do you think that...
Great.
Yeah, because that's bringing a lot of social awareness, but, like, do you think that being associated...
Bringing countries down.
Yeah. But do you think that, like, I don't know, this is... I just feel that, like, you guys just rather not associate with some stuff and just let people find it?
You may be talking about the Zeitgeist movement.
No, I don't know
The
what you
Venus
mean.
Project has very specific steps. That's why you're supposed to ask questions here. There's nothing vague. You can ask any question. If I don't answer it, you're supposed to interrupt me. I think I've answered your question, have I? On virtual images,
Yeah.
tactile. If I didn't answer any of your questions, you may not have framed the question properly. So if you have a question, a real question, not a statement, like the questions I get, I haven't heard a new answer. We travel all over the world, Roxanne and I haven't heard a new question. People say, why does Jacque always talk about the same thing? Because the guy always asks me the same question. I don't get a new question. I'd love to get new
The
questions.
introductory lecture is always the same, usually, but we're Joel and I and Larry, we're interviewing Jacque here almost every day, and about different topics, and we're gonna be having those available soon too, different types of things. Yeah.
I just have a comment along the same motivational and stuff. I would love to see you all maybe talk about Wikipedia and the implications of Wikipedia. This is an organization that's run.
You do that, set it up.
I'd love to, but this is just something I'm suggesting to you because I'm not you. I'm suggesting this to you because Wikipedia is a very interesting thing. It's run by 30 people.
To sell myself.
Yeah.
It's better for an outsider to say, why don't you call them? There are 200
I
million
have
people.
problems about Wikipedia too. I mean, they ban stuff that we put up.
Wikipedia is
and
good
they
for
are-
scientific stuff.
Right.
When it comes to
I'm not talking about any of that. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about the idea of Wikipedia. It's very interesting. There's 30 people that run this, okay? It's very small. People update this information for free. Again, it's proving what really motivates people. People are not getting paid to do this. This is something that people didn't think people did 30 years ago. If you told this to professors, hey, I'm going to create this website and everybody's just going to update it and we're going to create this massive thing called Wikipedia with all this information and we don't have to pay anybody but 30 people in San Francisco basically to keep the servers up. That is a crazy human experiment that's been going on and nobody's talking about it. That is a form of the Venus Project. It's everybody helping out because they want information to be there and they want something and they're not getting paid for it. The reason why I'd mention that is because maybe
Tell them to call here.
I'll try
Do
to.
that.
Wikipedia is located in San Francisco, like 50 minutes south or north of where I live.
They go, oh, I'd rather get it from other. But you have to tell them that there are millions of people all over the world that don't know about it. They've just come back from a world tour. You have to give them a
Right.
reason.
No, I will.
It would help them. It would help them if they support the project somehow by even permitting me to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm given one session, say that's 20 minutes,
Mhm.
I have to compact, engineer it so that it's designed for people today with their value system. So I may say things on the air that you may not quite agree with, but we're dealing with the world as it is. You know what I mean? And I have to switch over, say I'm an Arab. When I designed a prefabricated house, some old Italian guy came over and says, "Tu sei Italiano?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Only an Italian can design a house like that." There was a mass exhibit. Then a guy comes and says, "You look Arab, you are Arab?" I said, "Arab." He said, "Yeah, only Arab can make house like that." Everybody is the same, all the same. But I can pass for almost anything but life. But I can pass, and I uphold the values, but then I turn them around with their value system. They want to make things better for the Italians, this will make things much better for the Italians. The Venus Project will even help the capitalists. They will live far better than they live today. More security, no bars on windows, they don't need cameras in their home for people breaking in. No one will break into your home if they have access. You know what I mean? You
The
can do away
standard
with
of living
armies,
would go
navies. You know how much they cost? Armies, navies, aircraft carriers, submarines? Billions. It's good for business, but the businessmen don't know what to do.
John?
Even the businessman, if you walked over and said, "What do you want?" Billions. But what you want it for, they really don't know.
Yeah.
Try it sometimes on them. They have no idea of what they want money for. But they learn how to invest, where to invest, when to invest. And the oil company's making lots of money now. Lots of it. There's lots of people making money, and they are the super wealthy people. Because they are manipulating the system. Because the lower the amount of oil you get, the higher price they can get. They don't need to pump as much oil.
Jacque,
Yes.
I want to give you a break. You know, I want to cut it for you.